Well, good morning, Daryl.
Hey, how you doing, El?
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you back.
Your secretary was just briefing me that you just got back from what you call it, staycation? What's that all about?
Yeah, my staycation. Obviously we're trapped at home right now given the pandemic. So I basically spent a lot of time catching up on some reading, hanging out with the kiddos, and finally cooking some real food with my wife.
Sounds very grounding. So, how are the kids holding up now that they're all cooped up inside these days?
They're loving it. Me and my wife, on the other hand, not so much.
Oh, I could only imagine. You both work very stressful jobs nowadays. Because you guys still got to go to the office, right? You still come here, your wife goes to her firm, then you got to deal with the day-to-day business, and then usually after a day like this, I'd be beat, so I don't know how you guys do it. You head home and you got to mutter up some energy to keep up with the kiddos, huh? It just sounds very, very draining from thinking about it.
Oh, you have no idea. Oh, anyhow, let's talk about the copier. My team and I have been talking about this ever since you departed from our previous meeting.
Really? Good or bad? Just kidding. Okay. So, before we dive into like the suggestions that my team and I have come up with, I just want to make sure I cover all my bases properly and got my facts straight. So, last time we met, you said that your team usually prints roughly 25,000 pages per month, correct? Okay. You have no need for color. You guys were looking to implement wireless and emailing built right into the copier. And you need it to be very intuitive because you don't have an IT team on staff. And the last thing you guys have been really loving was the stapling and hole punching features. Does that sound about right?
You nailed it.
Okay, perfect. Well, my team and I reviewed kind of what our best options were when it came to putting this together. And we've come to realize that the Xerox AltaLink MFP is probably the best option.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, as we previously just stated, you guys were looking to print roughly 25,000 pages. So what we did was equip the printer with 4 drawers that hold about 5 reams of paper, which equates to about 10,000 pages.
Right.
So one of the things that you guys told us was, one of those other things you told me was you guys were replenishing paper very frequently throughout the month, and that was very annoying. So when you do the math there, if you had 10,000 pages per fill, like when you fill all the drawers, you'd only have to replenish that paper roughly 3 times per month.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So the other thing you mentioned was that you guys want to have wireless printing and secure emailing capabilities. So let me show you the app we've actually developed to make this a little bit more intuitive for you guys. So right now we're looking at the Homes interface. So this is basically what it's going to look like right when you open up the app. So let's say you need to print a document. You go right over here to view and print. Then you select wherever you want to have your files housed. So it could be in Dropbox, Google Photos, Google Drive, so forth. Let's click in my Google Drive here. Once you're in your folder, you can actually select any of the files that you've had saved there and the one that you want to print. You click into it, and then all you do is hit print, and it sends it right over there. So how is that for ease of use?
Yeah, I love that. Wow, that's very nice. Honestly, you guys met all the requests dead on. So my question for you is basically, how much is this?
So this unit actually costs you $13,000.
Ooh, that's a little high, don't you think?
Oh, I definitely can understand where you're coming from with that perspective. But as we previously mentioned back in our previous meeting, the goals you guys had set out for improving this area was simply to improve productivity, efficiency, and security. And that copier does all that for you. And then we kind of crunched the numbers here. We took your time spent at the copier from 10 minutes and dropped it down to 5 minutes or less. So that's already a 50% decrease in time spent at the copier.
That's very true. But still, that's kind of steep, don't you think, just to cut down on time spent at the copier?
Daryl, you and I both know that time is money. And if you put it in term or perspective like this, if Henry Ford spent longer to create a vehicle, right, and produce it, he'd miss out on lots of opportunities to sell more vehicles. Same thing applies for you and your clients. If you guys were not able to crank out a lot of these pamphlets, you weren't able to push out enough information to your clients, thus slowing down your productivity. So Daryl, believe me when I say I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't believe that the benefits that you guys are going to reap didn't outweigh the cost of the copier.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, you're doing pretty good here. Yeah, I guess I can make that work.
Thank you. Now, before we move on, there's one other thing I want to show you about your copier, and I think you're going to love this.
What is this?
That is a pre-bound marketing plan example made right by your copier.
You're kidding. This?
Yeah, I remembered seeing one of your staff members coming in with like these bound notebooks or something like that. And it was in a package from Staples from up the road. And I thought, why don't we just put a binding piece right into the copier so they wouldn't have to make those strange trips?
Yeah, that is really good stuff.
I thought you might like that there. But yeah, that's already included in the price that we just went over. So Daryl, what say you and I just go finish this paperwork and we get you situated with the copier, and that way you guys can get right to work.
Definitely. Where can I fill out the paperwork?
Perfect. Let me grab just one more thing here and I'll be out of your hair.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm just gonna. Thank you for your time.
Work. Yeah. Okay. Just farted during the interaction. Still want my copier though.